getting close to brunch time. I was beginning to feel tired and was physically sweating after our morning with these horrible salespeople. I looked at my watch. But the good news was that we were almost at the end of our obligatory vacation session. I didn't want to speak too soon, but it seemed we had resisted the video, the sit down with Nasty Nancy, the top marketing gurus, and their subordinates. We had signed up for nothing extra and were just about to leave when we noticed the back of the room barricaded off with three hefty mafia-looking types sitting behind large desks in front of the exit doors. "Are you your family isn't interested in taking fabulous round-the-world vacations?" one of the oversized puffy bozos said to me menacingly. I thought I was in a back alley ghetto in New York, New Jersey. "No," I answered in as rude a voice as I could muster. "You sure about this? Our team has spent the morning trying to find you the best deal we could." "You spent the morning trying to find yourself the best deal. These are designed to line your pockets with my money." "I wouldn't go that far, buddy," he laughed. "Well, whatever." "You sure you wouldn't want our lower price deal, only $99.99 for 3 years, any place you want, anywhere in the world, no vacation blackouts, nada, nothing," he said in his low-class New Jersey accent, even though we were in Miami. "Listen, are you going to let us out?" I answered. "Oh, come on, wait, buddy, I'll give it to you for only $4,500. Oh, so now the price had been dropped by more than half. This bird brain was covering 8 by 11 sheets of paper with huge numbers, one pointing to the other with the biggest numbers on the bottom. This was the bottom line. Only $5,500. The two exclamation marks were his as his voice rose 2 octaves higher. So, from the $30,000 package our Lady Nancy and cohorts had been talking about, inside to the $10,000 the mafia guy had first mentioned, the deal was now only $5,500. Please. "We don't want your crummy package. You promised us a free trip for a week in the Bahamas, provided we listened to your nonsense spiel that, by the way, went 2 hours over long." "You sure now?" was all he could respond. "Surer than I've ever been since 8:30 this morning." And with that, we drove a wedge through the mafia guys as if they were a crowd of leftists and broke on through to the other side. As soon as we exited, I exclaimed, "Ah, we made it through the gauntlet." Then we high-fived each other and went outside to a boozy lunch. The free vacation was about to start. An hour later, after we had returned from lunch, the cruise ship pulled into port. An obese, annoying woman whose name tag spelled out Shangri Louise told us in a very bored voice that we needed to go to another meeting spot. "So y'all can go through registration." "But we're taking this ship, right?" "Y'all need to go through registration, Mr. Is that La Bête?" "No, ma'am, not La Bête. It's 2 syllables, La Bête." Shangri Louise swiveled her head at me as if she were a cobra ready to strike, wrapped her curvy, inch-long nails on her glass desk, and smiled out a row of ultra-bright chiclets. "You the boss, Mr. La Bête." We followed behind another inoffensive marketing gal to a large hallway. I got a fright when I saw a big empty banquet room set up with tables and chairs and a man in a Hawaiian shirt, sweating and gesturing at a family of 4. I winked at my wife, as if to say, some poor sucker caught in the net. I went over to the registration counter and showed my free offer postcard, passports, and accompanying documents. The guy taking our papers was a laconic sort, very pale and lanky. "Congratulations," he muttered. "Y'all be boarding the ship in another hour?" "What? I thought it was now," I interrupted. "In another hour?" he continued as if I hadn't spoken. "Y'all have a seat over there and wait to talk to Joe." "Who the hell's Joe?" I said in a very loud voice. "I don't want to talk to Joe. We're not going through any more sales pitches." "You need to talk to Joe," he said. The people behind us that were also waiting to board were snickering. "What about these people and our free cruise?" I said. "Relax," said Lanky Man. "Y'all got it, your own free cruise. We just want you to talk to Joe so you can improve your trip." "I don't want to improve my trip," I said. "I just want what I signed up for a free trip." "It's no big deal," Lanky Man went on. "Just SOP. "What's that mean?" "Standard operating procedure." "Whatever that means," I said, but I didn't say no to, quote, improving my trip. Then I thought I saw a glance exchanged between Lanky Man and the guy in the Hawaiian shirt, but I wasn't sure. So this was the guy we were supposed to talk to. Besides his Hawaiian shirt, this guy was wearing a big name tag with Joe emblazoned in red letters. I suddenly felt weak in the legs from the suffocating feeling of deja vu. How you guys doing? You, Labette? What kind of name's that? French? This was said in one flourish as he personally pulled out the chairs for my wife and daughter and made sure we all had large ice bottles of pure spring water. Yes, it is, I responded while I stayed standing and silent. You want to have a seat? He said this very cordially in a way that I could not refuse. Then there was a long pause, which he filled with his goofy expression, but there was something fake about him. So, wow, he exploded after 5 seconds. Wow, going to the Bahamas. Isn't that fantastic? Ever been before? I fell right into the trap of amiability, even though I had planned not to be amiable to any goddamn salesman. Then my daughter told him how she was looking forward to our vacation. And then my wife and finally my young son all told him in no less than 10 minutes now how we were all looking forward to this fantastic trip in the sun. Then something happened. This fellow's expression changed. Gone was the goofy expression, and suddenly his eyes were very keen. I've never seen a family as happy as yours and so ready to leave on vacation, he exclaimed. I looked around in embarrassment. He was so loud, it was obnoxious. Had we said that? Wouldn't you like it to always be this way, he thundered. And with that, the kids started chirping, and Hawaiian Joe was firing off questions like, where do you like to go on vacation? Do you like to go to different places? How about Italy? I've been all over the world. Wouldn't you like to go there at the drop of a hat? Your parents are from there, right? We can find something for you. That's for sure. I know that for a fact. And suddenly I realized the deja vu was the family of suckers we had now become. I looked out around me, and suddenly all the tables in the room were filled by people like us, and I jumped up. Let's go. Hey, you can't leave like that, Hawaiian Joe said. Yeah, Dad, we can't go like that, son Maurice chirped in. Watch me. Come on, Labette, we were having a nice conversation, said my wife. We're not having a nice conversation anymore. This man's trying to sell us something. Hey, Joe said, sit down, please. You're going on vacation in 45 minutes. What kind of vacation do you want to have? And again, I made the mistake of sitting down while Hawaiian Joe thundered down the track. How much do you normally spend on vacation? You said twice a year, right? Well, even at twice a year, and between you and me, let's face it, people often go a lot more. What about that 4th of July outing? Or that trip to the beach on Memorial Day? Or that ski trip you forgot about? Well, okay, I acknowledged. Okay, this is for your health. We're talking about your vital rejuvenation, okay? Okay, let's do the math, okay? We got 2 nights at the hotel, $400 minimum for 4 people during a 24-hour period, including room, all meals, internet, parking, $45 a day. Have you ever been to a Miami hotel? And let's forget about the tips. There's some guy standing behind every closed door with his hand out. You know what I mean? So you want to know the bottom line? I calculated 45 grand you must have spent, and you're complaining for your vacation before, and you're complaining about 15 grand for 4 vacations for a family of 4 per year? I'll tell you what, I'll knock it down to $99.99. You got 2 years to spend it. I'll even throw in worldwide locations. Sardinia for your wife, Corsica for you. Where do you want to go, kids? The Bahamas, they yell. Come on, let's go, everybody. I got up and started to move when he commanded, Labette, you're going to give me a heart attack. And once more, like the beta male I was, I sat down and gazed across the table at this gross, obese, disgusting sweatpig of a man in his Hawaiian shirt, looking completely deflated, with his rasping voice and breathing hard. You're going to give me a heart attack, he said barely audibly. You're going to give me a heart attack, I said, showing no mercy. The guy was peering up at me as if he were a bull, bleeding profusely from his back, and I was the matador about to plunge the fatal saber into its neck and slice its spinal cord. They're going to kill me back there, but just for you, and I emphasize, just for you, because you're such a badass, I'm going to drop my price to cost. We don't make any money. You don't pay any extra. I'm basically working for free. Then what's in it for you, I asked. A measly, lousy sale. A vacation package, no more, no less. You get all the gravy. He went silent. Suddenly, my whole family and this bozo were staring at me, and I had to make a decision about what kind of vacation we were to have. Who had framed the conversation this way? Hawaiian Joe? Yes, it was he. Everyone was looking at me. Everyone was dependent on me. I was a beta male trapped in alpha clothes that were rapidly sliding off. I was sweating. Hawaiian Joe was dripping and about to pass out. However, 4 sets of eyes were boring into me, including his, and despite his physical condition, Hawaiian Joe's eyes were as hard as steel. They matched those of the eagle, the vulture bird of prey of the United States. There was no mercy and no escape. I, the matador, had been gored just before plunging in my sword. Yes, people, I ended up paying $49.99 before tax just to save face and get out of the room for something I had never even needed nor wanted. Hawaiian Joe had bludgeoned his way to yes. Well, there you go, people. 4 chapters from Curmudgeon on the Loose by Richard Bonte, available in early January 2021 in e-form, only on Amazon's Kindle. We only have 15 seconds left. To read other books by Richard Bonte, as well as Richard Bonte and other authors, most of which are available in print and e-form, please go to lulu.com, Amazon Kindle, or richardbonte.com and click on Purchase Books Now. This is Richard Bonte, host of Curmudgeonly Yours on Society Bites Radio. So I'd like to thank our guests for being on Curmudgeonly Yours today. And please, if you like what you heard, send me an email to richard@richardbonte.com. And if you didn't, please keep your comments to yourself. Remember, this is Richard Bonte and Curmudgeonly Yours on Society Bites Radio, where everything is what it seems, nothing is what it seems, and what is not said is often of most interest.